Welcome to the Explainer. This week, we're shifting straight from the news desk into a full-blown war room briefing for July 6th through the 12th, 2026. If you're an e-commerce operator hungry for the kind of high-signal intel that actually moves the needle, well, you're exactly where you need to be.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the agenda for today. We're going to machine gun through the weekend headlines first. After that, we'll settle into the war room for a deep dive on AI operations, Shopify tactics, marketing psychology, and finally, a massive shift in smart glasses privacy. All right, Section 1, the week in headlines. The pace of the macro news this week has been, honestly, nothing short of light speed. Just look at this timeline. Between June 30th and July 9th, it was just nonstop. We saw Claude Sonnet 5, then Grok 4.5 dropping, followed immediately by OpenAI's massive GPT-5.6 launch, and Meta rolling out its in-house Muse 1.1 image model. I mean, wow. But the real takeaway here isn't just that these models are getting smarter, it's that the AI capability race just saw a brutal price drop. The middle of the market is commoditizing incredibly fast, with models like Grok 4.5 and Meta's Muse crashing into the frontier tier at just a fraction of the cost. Rounding out the rest of the headlines, Target's marketplace is seeing a whopping 60% year-over-year growth by aggressively pushing heavy goods. Over in tech, OpenAI just killed off its Atlas browser after only 9 months. Why? To focus purely on where the actual money is: checkout agents. Meanwhile, in Europe, the EU Parliament advanced Chat Control 1.0, which is basically a framework for suspicionless scanning of private messages. And back to OpenAI, they debuted GPT-Live, a full-duplex voice model that completely changes how we interact with AI because it can listen and speak simultaneously. Okay, so those are the global shifts. Now let's take all of this and apply it directly to your business. Welcome to the War Room. Section 2, AI Operations and Agency Shifts. We're going to visibly slow the pace down here and focus strictly on your bottom line. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it maps out what we're calling the great agency repricing. Because AI has so drastically compressed the time it takes to actually execute tasks, charging for time, it's basically a dead model. If you're auditing your current retainers, you need to look for partners who are moving into one of these top 3 surviving models. You've got the strategic partner who brings irreplaceable context. You have the productized orchestrator who's selling systems rather than hours, or the accountability partner who ties their fees directly to your outcomes. That traditional hourly model at the bottom, sticking with that carries an extremely high level of exposure right now. As you transition more of this work in-house or even to new specialized partners, you're definitely going to be evaluating new AI vendors for your tech stack. And I want you to ruthlessly audit them using these exact 5 questions from Search Engine Land. Don't just buy a shiny new tool looking for a use case. Ask them, what exact workflow problem does this actually solve? Was this built for advertisers or by advertisers? Can you share real case studies and timelines? Crucially, do you use my data to train your shared models? And what is the actual implementation time and internal lift? If a vendor can't answer these clearly, seriously, just walk away. And speaking of internal lift, Buffer outlined 7 practices for managing multiple social accounts to keep your teams sane and avoid creative burnout. It basically boils down to this: unify your platforms, lean on reusable templates, and automate all that busy work. By repurposing content across channels and curating a clear, documented calendar, you totally eliminate the repetitive manual labor. Consistency absolutely beats constant, frantic content creation. This frees your team up so they can actually focus on strategy instead of just mindless execution. All right, let's transition right into Section 3, Shopify storefront and migration tactics. Moving away from external vendors, this is about the heart of your actual business and your entrepreneurial mindset. I absolutely love this quote from Alara Verrett at Reitmans, who, by the way, moved 400 stores to Shopify in under a year. She says to customize only when it drives real value, because every custom thing you build is a thing you maintain forever. This perfectly illustrates the Shopify plateau. The platform lets you do almost anything on the front end, but you really shouldn't. Novelty designs, they actually hurt conversions. Customers just want recognition and a smooth flow. If you've ever dealt with a broken site on Black Friday, you know firsthand that custom code is a lifelong sentence. Build for speed and focus, not for cleverness. Getting to that level of focus requires the right founder psychology. E-commerce veteran Ben Leonard recently broke down the difference between that loud, toxic, no-days-off hustle culture and what true entrepreneurial work actually looks like. Strategic hard work means deep engagement with your business. It means continuous learning and taking asymmetric risks. It's about being agile, focusing on real profitability, and building resilience over the long haul, not just burning yourself out for the sake of looking busy. And if you want a perfect example of strategic, hard work enabled by new tech, look at this. Joshua Ubergong mapped out a process to execute a production-grade Shopify theme migration in just 3 hours. A job that traditionally took, 200 hours? Let's enthusiastically track this flow because it's a game changer. Step 1, spin up a free Shopify Dev Store sandbox. Step 2, sync your live data using Matrixify. Step 3, pair the Shopify CLI with Claude CodeWrite inside your theme folder. Step 4, build on a free theme featuring theme blocks so future updates don't break your site. And finally, Step 5, verify it all visually using the Claude Chrome extension. Reclaiming 197 hours? That is a massive competitive advantage. Moving from your tech stack to your marketing psychology, here is Section 4, Marketing Psychology and Creator Dynamics. Let's look at how we influence actual buyers and the creators driving them to us.
Have you ever wondered why we tend to link two totally unrelated events? Well, that's causality bias. It is the psychological tendency to believe one event caused another, manufactured purely by sequence and repetition. Here is why this is absolutely crucial for your copy. Customers don't sit around waiting for scientific peer-reviewed proof. If you give their brains the right sequence of events, they will automatically write the causal story for you. And this brilliantly illustrates how you can leverage causality bias in your creative without running afoul of your legal team. By structuring testimonials as before and after stories, this sequence implies the cause for the customer's brain. You can also publish case studies anchored to a specific timeline and a hard growth number. Or, my favorite, build a strict, repeatable consumption ritual around your product. The ritual basically becomes the perceived cause of the pleasure or success, making your product totally irreplaceable in their routine. Now, let's talk about who is actually driving traffic to those highly optimized funnels. Look at this shocking statistic from a recent Levantis survey, 7.1%. That is the tiny percentage of middle-tier creators who actually default to a brand's preferred shopping destination when a product is available somewhere else. So where the heck is the rest of that traffic going? As you can see, almost 62% of the time, creators are choosing the destination based on what gives them the best payout or what fits their audience best. For you as an Amazon or Shopify operator, this means creators aren't just affiliates recommending products anymore. They are actively deciding where commerce happens based on their own incentives. You absolutely have to align your affiliate payouts with that reality if you want to win their traffic. And to help those creators, and honestly your own internal team, generate way better ad creative, you are going to want to screenshot this slide right now. With the release of models like Meta's Muse and GPT-Image, this prompt formula is the secret sauce. You have to explicitly define the shot type, the lighting, and the mood. That exact combination on the screen, matte concrete, soft window light from the left, a 50mm lens, muted earth tones, that is exactly how you unlock professional, agency-quality imagery in-house completely on demand. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the smart glasses privacy threat. We need to downshift the tone a bit here and look at a serious macro trend that is poised to reshape consumer behavior entirely. Take a look at the timeline of this hardware rollout. It's happening fast. Meta's Ray-Bans basically established market dominance back in 2024. This year, in 2026, we have Google and Samsung's Gemini glasses launching. And next year, Apple's N50 screenless glasses are fully expected to drop. Every single major tech company has made a coordinated multi-billion-dollar decision to move hardware off of our screens and directly onto our faces, effectively turning humans into mobile recording equipment. The capabilities of these devices present a reality that is, frankly, a privacy extinction event. We are talking about continuous audio and video recording without any bystander consent. Meta has even reportedly tested deactivating the LED warning lights during AI capture, and there's unreleased facial recognition infrastructure, like name tag, embedded right into the background. Now, we are starting to see some institutional pushback. For instance, New York has just enacted a blanket smart glasses ban across 1,240 courthouses. So the provocative thought we want to leave you pondering today is this. What happens to commerce, to behavior, and to society as a whole when the freedom of public anonymity goes extinct? When a consumer can't walk into a store, or even just down the street, without potentially being recorded and categorized by a complete stranger? It's a heavy thought for sure, but a world of continuous surveillance will fundamentally alter how consumers act and shop. And it's a reality every operator needs to start preparing for right now. All right, that is enough to chew on for today. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you in the next one.